We finally have details coming out about this now. Here's the details. I'm going to read out all the information that's now been put out this morning. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford for the ring, the WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO super middleweight fights, super middleweight belts. This will be taking place in Las Vegas, United States of America on September 13th. And Dana White will be promoting the event. For those of you that are UFC people, it's going to be on the exact same day as UFC Noche, but UFC Noche has now been removed from being a pay-per-view event and just become another fight night event, therefore making this a much more feasible weekend for Dana White to be doing this card. There will be 3 big press conferences hosted in preparation for this fight. The first one will be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on Friday, June 20th. Second one will be on Sunday, June 22nd in Fanatics Fest, New York. And then the third one will be at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on June 27th. This will be a massively promoted fight. And here's the thing I'm going to say about this. I'm not going to give my official prediction on how this fight goes down yet. But what I will say is that this fight, whether you like it or not, whether it's the best fight or not for both Terence Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, it is good for boxing. And here's why. First of all, this fight will be broadcasted on Netflix. Terence Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez will be broadcast on Netflix as announced it today. And I think that factor right there is huge for boxing. The reason I say that is the current pay-per-view model for boxing, while it is good for those, it works at whatever, it is not the best for growing the sport of boxing. A lot of people learn of new things when they just are scrolling through TV channels, when they're just watching certain things that they already have, and they see it come up, and then they become boxing fans, or they become fans of that content. When you talk about the pay-per-view model, the best of the best fights, typical fans are not able to go out there and watch those. And it has hindered the growth of boxing tremendously. So when you talk about this being on Netflix, one of the most subscribed groups and products in the entire world, streaming services in the entire world, you now have the opportunity for countless more people to tune into this fight and become boxing fans. Having these fights go down on Netflix is massive for the sport of boxing. This is going to do good numbers. It's going to be different than pay-per-view numbers, but it's going to do massive numbers for the sport of boxing because so many eyes are going to be on 2 of the best fighters of this generation, in Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford. Whether or not this fight goes down and it's good or not, there's going to be massive eyes put on this fight. It's going to be one of the most trended things on X, on social media that night. And when you combine all those different factors, this will make for a very successful night for boxing. And you also have to factor in this component. The odds are quite high between this being a Netflix fight and it being something that Turki Al-Sheikh is putting together with Dana White promoting it, that it's going to be a stacked undercard. And if you have a stacked undercard, that's going to put a lot more eyes on much better fights. We look back at the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. That fight was atrocious. I was very clear about that. Nobody wanted to say that was true boxing fans. But that undercard, you have Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, one of the best watched, most anticipated fights for women's boxing, got so many more eyes on it because of that. You look at the undercard as well. You had Barrios defending his belt against Abel Ramos. You had Bruce Carrington on that undercard. You had a lot of people that would not have watched these fights had it not been on Netflix that now got the eyes placed on them. When you have that type of situation unfolding, that is good for the sport of boxing. And that's why I think that what happened here, the deal that got solidified, put it on Netflix, is great for the sport of boxing.